Good morning. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Gosh, it feels like a long time since we were live, especially you and I. It feels like a really long time. So welcome to our little show today, and we have something extremely fun to talk about.
Yes.
Something so fresh and so new that hopefully we can get this all done in a reasonable timeline.
I know.
We're not all going to be saying, oh, we're getting dinner ready now. So we'll wait for a few more people to hop on.
Yes.
But
how was everyone's weekend, though?
gosh, it was kind of chilly here.
It was. It was a little drizzly Saturday morning, too, for us.
Yeah, I heard that the weather was kind of rough around the country, though. We can't say much here. That even with crummy weather, it wasn't anything like all the scary things.
Oh, yeah.
All the Midwest folks had to deal with this weekend. We're sorry, sorry if you've had a loss in your life this weekend. Gosh, you know what else happened recently is we went to a trade show.
Yes.
We went to the H&H show in Chicago.
In Chicago. We were there not last week, but the week before.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes this show so exciting is that we're fresh, back from there with all of this really, really good input on this brand new fabric that we're going to launch and show you guys today.
It's a brand new fabrication, and you might have already heard a little bit about it. But there are so many projects behind us.
Yes.
Our Cuddle ambassadors have just knocked it out of the park trying to.
Great job to all of our Cuddle ambassadors.
Get us ready for the show, because we were trying to release this new product, and you know how product always comes in at the last possible minute. It just always works that way. No matter what planning you do, it's always the last possible minute. So we were quilting till the 10th hour, and then people were driving things in with them because we were picking seamstresses that live nearby so that they could get it all done and just get these projects finished. But they just did such a fabulous job.
They truly did.
So many fun things to show you. So I can't wait to release the information. And I think this is kind of like the first public conversation. That we've had. We've talked to our stores at H&H. We talked to a little panel of people beforehand. We talked to people at H&H, and then we've had a couple little lives with industry shops trying to get feedback and let them know what's going on so that you don't rush them now in these next days asking them when they're going to have Quilting Cuddle.
Oh my gosh, Quilting Cuddle. I can't even believe it.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Quilting Cuddle, that's what we're going to call it. People keep saying, what are you calling it? Quilting Cuddle, that's what we're calling it.
But it was really nice to see just how it was the talk of H&H. And so we're just really, really excited to explain to you guys what it is and show you the beautiful collections that our design team put together. Just because there's a lot of really cute stuff in here.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get going. Hi, Leanne.
Yeah. Hi, Leanne.
Yeah, thank you. That's sweet of you to.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Ella, that's nice. Okay, so I think we'll get started. So what in the world is Quilting Cuddle? Why is it any different than
or let's explain to you guys the difference between our regular Cuddle 3 digital print versus what Quilting Cuddle is.
So why did we do it? We did it because many of our customers as well as consumers, there's like always a thread of things that we don't love about working with Cuddle. And so some of the things that we don't love is the fact that it has a lot of stretch. And when we sew with it, we struggle with that stretch. And so one of the things that we did, so here's what we drew a line in the sand and said, let's make it so that the customers have nothing that they don't love about the product. So the first thing that we did is we went to the mill and we started talking to the mill to give us a new construction. So we wanted a new fabric so that it would be conducive to quilting. What is not conducive about quilting is the fact that it's stretchy, that the pile is a little bit longer. We don't love the fact that when we cut it, we have lovingly, we call it cuddle dust. There are some things like that we don't love about regular Cuddle that we wanted to eliminate with Quilting Cuddle. Well, that's what we did. So the mill came through for us. They created a new construction, which, by the way, it's patent pending. So that's as big of a deal as it really is that it's patent pending. So we are we have worked hard to try to figure out how to get that nap pile down, but keep the silkiness and the softness. And I even feel like there's like a flowiness about it, which seems weird to use with Cuddle, but
Yeah.
there's a featheriness about it that I just really love what it feels like. It's silky. It's just easy to work with. So it's 1.5 millimeter pile. It's 45 inches wide. So what's good about 45 inches wide? The shop owners say because their shelves all work now, but as a consumer, your quilting patterns now fit perfectly on it and you don't have to recalculate how much yardage it's going to take. What else? You use 1/4 inch seam allowances. It works perfect. You can press it from the back side. I pressed all kinds of it from the back side. Your points are perfect, no matter how small you get, no matter what shape you get. The stretch is completely reduced, almost down to nothing. There's a little tiny bit of give in it, but it's a knit, so there's always going to be a little give in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. So because I've had a lot of my customers just ask me this, and so I just kind of want to reiterate to explain to people. So our normal Cuddle 3 has a 3 millimeter pile height. And all of our conventional prints are printed in a 3 millimeter as well. All of our digital prints are done on a 2.5 millimeter pile height. And so now this is 1.5. So all Quilting Cuddle, when you see that it says Quilting Cuddle on the website, note that it'll be 1.5 and then it'll be 45 inches wide, as all of our other goods are 50 to 60 inches wide.
So one of the other things is sometimes people didn't love how, when we print with a darker color, how sometimes you can see like the underbelly a little bit. Well, when you reduce the pile down to 1.5, that automatically means that the dye can penetrate down further. And so it's very hard to see that white ground back there now. So let me tell you a little tiny story about when I was working with the very first pieces of Quilting Cuddle. I decided to do just a tiny little 9 patch. Tiny. And so as I was sewing with it, I cut my squares. I did everything. I got everything all ready to go. And I decided I'm just going to try to put a pin at the beginning and a pin at the end and see how that works. It worked perfect. It was easy. And I kept saying to myself, wow, this seems too easy. What am I not doing right? You know how when you're just suspecting something is going to be a certain way and it's not. And so then I said, you know what? I'm going to throw a square or two of C3 in there just to see what happens. Well, suddenly it got a little fussy. So I was realizing that 1.5 millimeter nap really is good for face-to-face sewing. It doesn't want to do that shift, that 3 millimeter. So a 3 millimeter and a 1.5 millimeter, I noticed a shift. So 3 to 3, you're obviously going to notice it. And then of course, as the pile starts to lengthen, you're going to really start feeling that shifting happening, where that's why we do all of our crazy pinning to make sure that doesn't happen. Well, it's really reduced the need for that excessive pinning with the Quilting Cuddle, which was one of the goals that we had. Yet it still has that super soft feeling.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking with a couple customers, and a couple customers said, why would you ever use flannel again? Why would you use flannel with this now? It just changes the whole game.
I think so too. I think that was almost every customer I sat with at H&H, which we were all sitting with customers back to back all 3 days.
We were very busy.
Yes. So thank you to everyone who came out to see us. But that's probably one of the number one things that was brought up is, this could be a really, really good replacement for flannel.
Right.
So,
I mean, we know that flannel life expectancy isn't as long as something like our minky products are. And so that life expectancy on the flannel that you put all that energy and time into just doesn't look great for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. This looks great after a lot of washes. I've done a lot of washes. You know how I like to sample things when we're working with new qualities. I typically will take a square of something like this home and I'll throw it in the washing machine every time I do a load just to see what happens to the product. Absolutely nothing is happening. And I'm probably on like wash 8 now. And I'll probably go as far as maybe 15 washes with it. Nothing ever changes after a few washes, but I just like to see what happens. I also measured it exactly, so I know exactly what's happening with it. And nothing is happening, which is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because all of this stuff, all the things we're doing with it are we're doing very tedious, tiny things. because we want to play with it. We want to show you how easy this is to work with and all the fun projects that maybe you've been hesitant to do in the past that you probably will want to try.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So for instance, this was in the lobby. You want to, it's easier if you go around a little bit. This was in the lobby of the H&H show as a something to entice people to come and see what this was all about. But look how absolutely adorable. Not only is just the pattern and what we put it into and the way it was laid out is just darling, but she pieced it first, then she machine quilted the whole thing, and then it went to somebody else who cut it and sewed it into the little coat. It's probably a size maybe 18-month, size 2 maybe, little quilt. Look at the inside of it. Annette, if you could show them the inside. I think there's only one snap. Look how cute it just looks inside. It feels so incredibly good. I don't think there's no, there might be a light batting in that one. Is there batting? Can you feel it?
It feels like there is
a light batting. I'm
Yes.
guessing that she put the light batting in to keep it stable so that it hung on the little display really, really well. I've been seeing that the CA's used a lot of our projects have light batting in it, but it's super lightweight. And then look at like little tiny things like this. How cute those little
So
tiny.
these are like little ballet flats that they made also like a bow in the front.
And then the little dress that it went with it. Go down just a little bit. It's hard to see. Just the sweetest little things. I mean, honestly, these little baby things are so sugar sweet that the softness of the product with the delicateness of it, with it being light like it is, it's just so, so cute. I mean, it makes me want to sew. It makes me want to sew baby things like mad. I'm a huge baby, love to sew for babies anyway, but this makes me want to just go and start creating things like crazy. So there's lots of, oh my gosh, we had to show you this little purse too. Silly little thing. I don't even think there's a pattern for this little purse at this point, but it's just so cute.
This was really cute.
Look how tiny it is too. Look at the size of it in her
really,
hand.
really small.
Yeah, really little, tiny, out of the same fabric. She used the same fabric that we did the little jacket out of so that she could utilize all of it. Is just the cutest. That jacket, Jackie, that jacket was actually the jacket that Renee sewed. There's the other jacket is back here. Denise sewed a larger jacket. She sewed a little bit bigger one out of it. So that's probably a size, I'm going to guess that's probably a size 10 for a granddaughter. Not an adult 10, a girl's 10 out of that one. And so she used satin on the inside of hers instead, which I think is equally as adorable. You know, Shannon sells satin, so we use them on the insides for lining a lot, and then ruffles on things as well. So let me grab a couple other things like the ruffled blanket here. This one is just
so pretty.
So pretty. What a beautiful gift that would be for, first of all, an adult, just as easily as a child, but like a baby gift, shower gift. Do a little stuffy to go with it.
Cute.
Like, oh my gosh, what if you did like a little stuffy like this to go with it then as your baby gift? What a sweet little thing that is.
This would be such a cute little basket.
Oh gosh, isn't it nice? So this is the first collection that we're showing you. It's called Meet Me in the Garden. We'll show you all the pieces of the group. But most of our displays are out of that because that's what we had the multitude of yardage in to start sewing. So we started doing, what are you doing here? He's trying to get off. We had the largest quantity of that yardage. So that's what went out to all of the seamstresses. And I mean, it does, you know how we used to blow up all of our patterns so that they would have an easier time sewing them? Well, this is not. This is used in actual size. It's a little piglet that is from Funky Friends. It's quilting, it's Petunia Pig. Just the cutest.
That's so cute.
So funny. Just the ears and everything. It's just so funny. But I mean, obviously we'll have many, many, many more as it comes along. Oh, this is one I really want to show you guys. I'm showing that. I just think
that skirt that goes
so
with
cute. It goes
that
with a
other
little jacket.
jacket.
We would have never done that in
No.
C3 in the past. It would have been so bulky, look goofy. This doesn't look goofy at all. It's so easy and flowy.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till we do a little photo shoot out of this. But I just also want to show you guys just the inside because this one wasn't lined. But a lot of people were pointing out at the show when we had this on display at a table
It surged.
Yes.
It surged. She surged the whole thing. It's just so easy to do. Isn't it cute? Thank you, Debbie. That's nice of you. The colors did turn out really nice, Helen. That I honestly, that Mill is doing such a good job coordinating the colors for us as well. So, you know, we're doing collections now, which, you know, with our prints, we've always just kind of done one or two things that might go together, and all those one-off type prints more so because they're more conversational things. But now we're doing whole collections. So those collections have to go together or they don't work. And the Mill has just done a fabulous job with that. This is the other thing that became very evident, how much people love bags out of Cuddle and how easy the bags are to sew. These are done by a myriad of different of ambassadors. And you can just see that they put a lot of detail into these bags because you can. And it just works up so nice. So I'm encouraging us to start a bag series, like a sewing bag series.
This one was my favorite. She used the thread that has
metallic.
Yeah. So this was really, really cute.
I love all the bling on it. I'm a huge fan of all that hardware on a bag because I just think they look even more fun. But we've been talking about all the fun things that we can make in terms of bags. Like we went crazy, which I think is so fun.
Oh yeah, that was really, really fun.
Really well accepted too.
Yeah.
This is the one with the rope on the inside of the bag. And it's just the coolest bag. It's huge, but it's so cool. You'll be seeing that in a few photo ops, I'm sure, because we just love it so much. And
look at the inside. Oh my gosh, all the work.
Tell them the pattern.
So this one, you guys, the pattern information it's the Camden large bag from Auntie's 2 pattern.
Auntie Twos. And so the amount of bags that we had at the show was just unending. And this is another really good one too that I think is worthy of showing all the detail that's in that bag.
So the strap is made out of this. And she did the monogram. Look at how pretty. So this is the monogram Skylar sling bag, and it is from Creative Applique ITH. Monogram for Creative Applique.
Thanks, Sheila. Thanks for putting up that. A lot of the bags are by Annie bags, and a lot of those clamshells and things. Those are some of my favorites. I mean, this is a quilt that I just think it shows off a lot of the details of things, and a lot of when we have all these solids tucked in there, how great they look quilted in there, and just what a fun use of the fabric. They only had a half a yard of fabric, so everybody did something a little bit different with their half a yard of each one of the prints, which one of my favorite things about what we do with this is when we give it out to the CAs, they get the opportunity. I'm going to lift it just a little bit so we can see the bottom there. They get the opportunity to be creative and do the things that they want to do out of the product. Let's grab one more quilt real quick and show them. You want to do this one? I think it's easier to get to than that one is. Although I think that one's my favorite one. So one of the things that we had at the show also were small pieces. We did like this placemat size so everybody could have a piece. Gosh, that's so pretty. I'm going to have you show the back of it too when we get done with this side of it. Look how pretty that is. Gosh. Susan did this one with all that white. Look at how the white just sets it off. And I'm going to tell you, it's about, I don't know, 100 times prettier in real life. That these colors, oopsie, sorry, I'm pointing to colors I can't see.
Carrie, this is not available just yet, but it will be available within the next 6 weeks or so.
Let's turn it around so they can see the backside. This is the Quilting Cuddle is on the backside as well. Look at that.
That is so pretty. She did such a good job on this.
You have the roses in the back. Man, that's really nice. Really, really nice. And I tell you, it's got a light batting in it.
Yes.
It feels so good. I just love the softness, the silkiness about it. I mean, you can see the nap still on it. And so people were asking us, are you paying attention to the fussiness of how you're cutting it so that it's, whether it's a front or upside down or right side up and stuff. And I said, I probably would on certain fabrics, on certain colors, I would pay attention to the fussy of the nap going the right direction, but then other times I wouldn't. With it super busy, I don't think it's really going to affect it. I think it'll be kind of fun to add that little bit of extra texture that you're going to get with the nap going the wrong direction and such. So I suppose we should probably start with the first collection, which we've been showing you.
Yeah.
So we have some fabric samples that we're just going to throw out there and let you see. And so first of all, you can see how easy it is to move. And so this is the main, that's the main design in it. You might recognize that actually, because we did take it from some of our older collection that we had and we recolored it completely. And it's a berry. This is in the berry series. So the background of that is berry colored.
So the way that this compares to our digital prints is going to be the pile length and the width of the fabric. So this is 1.5 millimeter pile height. Our digital prints are 2.5, and our digital prints are 60 inches wide, and this is 45.
So you're looking at the full width of it right now, the 45-inch width. So you can just see how nicely. Do you want to take it up to the camera and let them see how good the printing is on this?
They can really, because the pile length is shorter, they're really, really able to do the deep printing on this.
So nice. They've just done such an outstanding job with this. I tell you, I'm so impressed with what the mill has done.
I'm going to show you guys me folding it over. So normally with our digital prints, you're able to see a lot more on the darker prints. You're able to see the white undertone a lot more. And so as you can see there, you really can't see anything. So they're really able to do deep printing on this. Carla, these are 45 inches wide because it is our Quilting Cuddle. So normally for quilting cotton, the patterns for that are for 45-inch goods. And so that's the reason for the width change on these.
As well as the shop owners really need it to be something that fits on their quilting shelves. So we decided, we listened to them and their requests, and that was one of their requests, was to make it so that they didn't have to figure out another place for it, because it really should be located in the quilting department. It is not something that should be just off in the cuddle section. It'll make it very identifiable that you have Quilting Cuddle in your hands when you see the difference of the 45 versus the 60-inch product as well. And again, like Annette said, it makes it so that your patterns all are very conducive for it as well. Pricing. Let's talk about pricing for just a little bit. Every store has the ability to price their product within a reasonable range. And I would suggest that you'll probably see this to be about $1 less than what you would see in regular digital prints and the regular solids. About $1. I cannot promise that it's going to be 75 cents or $1.20 or whatever the number is going to be, but it's about $1 probably. And so it's.
But if you have an account with us, these are all on the website already, so you are able to log in, place your pre-orders, and view pricing for all of the collections.
So you will have your regular. You can get on and do your regular thing if you're a shop owner that's on the live right now. Okay, this is the next print in it. This is your blender piece, and so this is a new color. So the color names on the solids you'll identify with in your C3 or in things that you've seen in the past. You will see them as normal. If you hear a new name like Corsage, you'll know it's a new color. And so it's looking a little bit dark. Oh, no. The iPad looks dark, but that doesn't. It looks great.
Yeah, you know what? It looks really, really accurate on camera right now. And I'm glad that you guys are loving these colors because they are beautiful, beautiful in person. I love how everything coordinates so well together.
We'll show you a header after we get done showing the big prints so that you can actually see them all and play together. So then we did a couple. We'll do a couple of these at the same time, maybe. We did the blender pieces that when you now need the small pieces that go coordinate back into it. So I have a polka dot in my hand. This one's the polka dot that has just very tiny, it's all the colors in the collection are all mixed in there. And Annette has the small leaves. And that has, it has a little bit of the berry in there mixed into it too. It's hard to see on screen, but it's there. So they coordinate nicely. Is there questions
Great.
there?
Nope, everyone's just loving the colors.
Great. Great. Thank you all. Thanks for you all for making the comments. It always is nice to see the feedback there. And then the last one is my favorite probably, besides the big print, but I just think there's something really beautiful about this. This is the one that was in the little girl's dress that just makes it so delicious.
And the name of this one is,
Oh, sorry. The name of that one is Garden Bouquet. Or Bouquet. So Meet Me in the Garden is the name of the collection. Really cute. Sweet, sweet. Boy, nursery stuff out of that is just gonna make me so happy.
a whole crib set
Yeah,
out of this.
completely lovely. So should we show the
So this is what the whole collection looks like, you know, side by side. And so when we're at a trade show, this is how they're viewing it.
so they see the header that looks just like this. You see all that, how it coordinates all together and how nicely the pieces, except for when we're at H&H and the lighting is really off.
know.
So sometimes we're having to get our cell phones out to show them things that look so crazy. But this is that new corsage color, which is this kind of a dusty rose tone. But it has a little tiny bit more, a few eyedroppers of blue in it that makes it that a little bit icier than rose water. Rose water's got a little more gray in it, and this has a little more blue in it instead. And then that's forest, juniper, berry, and the corsage.
Yes, all things minky. Yes, these are digitally printed as well.
Definitely. They are also, there are solids that will coordinate with every single group that come out. If there are no solids already existing in the 25 solids that we already have, then we will add solids to that. Alrighty. Should we look at the next collection? Oh, no, we forgot to talk about one thing.
Oh, yes.
There's another print that isn't here yet that we must, that we want to talk about just quickly with you. It's called the 5-in-1 print. So this is the full width of the 45 inches. From her hand to her hand is the 45 inches of width. Every 9 inches, the print changes. So it will be running yardage that if you bought a half a yard of fabric, you would get an 18 by 9 piece of fabric every single time that there's an 18-inch cut. You get 18 by 9-inch fabric pieces. So hopefully that made sense. It's running yardage, 1 bolt of fabric. All 5 designs are there, laid out in a coordinated pattern. So if you wanted to, and you wanted to call it a cheater quilt, you could. You could just channel quilt the whole thing together and have your own cheater quilt. Or cut it apart and reposition it back together again. Cut it apart, sew it in a tube, and cut your tube. It's going to create all kinds of crazy fun things. We're going to work on some fun projects to go with it so that you could just buy 3 yards of this and have a blast building something. So again, they're 9-inch strips across the 45-inch width, running yardage. It's another bolt that will be in the collection.
Oh my gosh, Audrey and Jackie, I agree with you ladies so much.
It absolutely. So then the other thing is we're going to work with Villa Rosa patterns. So you probably know them and have heard of them. And so that's just a little mock-up of how fun and beautiful a quilt can be. But we're going to work with them and we're going to start building maybe some kits together so that all the pieces will be inside so you can just build your own kit. And then if you wanted to build your kit bigger, you could probably buy a fat quarter, add to it, and have a whole even bigger quilt with it, or add more borders, you know, all the things that we quilters do to create a bigger, better machine, right? So that was fun. That was a fun thing to do with that. All right, let's pull out a couple of these things here now. The next collection is a wow collection. We don't have fabric pieces of this one because every single inch of fabric went to make the project that we did have at market, which was our show stunner. In fact, let's show one first.
Yeah,
let's do that. So this was honestly just unbelievable how beautiful it looked in the booth. This is called Wanderlust. It is a collection of bold, bright, beautiful prints in both pink and blue. And we put it together. We used them together because we can. And we wanted a showstopper piece, and this did the job completely. Lisa, our one of our Cuddle ambassadors, built this on literally minutes before market began. She had it done a couple days, and then she drove it to market, which I'm just so grateful that she was able to get this done, because I really think it showed off the fabric just at its very best. Is that just the best?
How cool is this?
Yeah, love, love, love it. And of course, it's also
I want to show you guys a little bit more of an up close look, just so that you guys can really see all of the different prints that she cut up, and then all of that stitch work in there.
She just did such a good job. We'll do the same thing with the blue section.
Yes.
Too.
And then she did frame it with Lux Cuddle hide, so that's what you're seeing here. Ella, this collection will be, the Wanderlust will be available
Late July.
Yes.
We're hoping sooner, but we're going to call it late July just because we should.
Yes, Brenda, this is all done in Cuddle fabric. So the bright pink here, this is Lux Cuddle hide. And then the whole centerpiece is quilted on our new Quilting Cuddle.
Should we switch it and let them see the back side?
Yes.
Because it's so pretty on the back too. Just because we can. Look how good it looks. So even the back just does it. It just looks so good. This is a heavy quilt. This has got a lot of girth to it because it's got batting inside as well. But it's just such a beauty. I just love what it looks like, and how unusual we can piece these together now. Shannon's never really done this, where we've had these quilting groups like this coordinated groups. So it's easier if we come out front once again. We should have probably planned just slightly better for this, because there's so much small pieces in this, because we just don't have the yardage yet. And usually we have yardage by the time we see you guys. So
so she's got Wanderlust in pink on that side.
Come closer to me just a little bit to get in the screen. There we go. And so we can flip them at the same time. So this is the first one is a tiny little floral.
So it's called Daisies.
And then
next one is called Big Cat.
So they've got all kinds of kitties in there, tigers, leopards, and I feel like there's one other one in there that I'm forgetting about. Or maybe it's two each color. These are just, one of the lighter prints. This one, I love this one. I think this has got so much movement, and
these are called Rainbow.
Such a pretty, I think you could build a whole quilt out of just this print.
Oh, I think so too.
And then this one also has a lot of movement in it. I love
Paisley.
So it's not really Paisley, but it's a version of Paisley, yeah. Right? And then this is more like a damask.
Yes.
And then the last one is the great big print, which is, you can see.
This is called Florals.
So it's big. You can see
that really
the size
pretty.
of it is, your hand size. But again, I think this could be built, a whole quilt could be just built around this.
Oh, yeah.
So beautiful collection. And then when you add,
again, this is called a Wanderlust.
There's many solids that go with this collection as well. Many solids. And but we did put a few into the collection. So there's 3 solids in each one of these collections that we're matching it up with. So we haven't talked about the pre-cuts yet. They're going to be pre-cuts in these. And so right now, as of now, our pre-cuts are going to be fat quarters. And so there are 12 fat quarters in each one of this package to get your solids tucked in there too. So you can see that we did a color called Maui and True Blue and Bellflower in this particular pack. That one has Mandarin, Fuchsia, and Baby Pink in this one. And so all the coordinate collections will have one fat quarter pack that goes with it. And so then if the Villa Rosa pattern or the pattern that you've selected take more fabric than this, you can either buy more fabric or you can buy another fat quarter pack. So I think these are really fun. We've never done fat quarter packs like this.
I know, this is exciting.
New fun thing for Shannon. And the 5-in-1s. Let's show those. So there's the 5-in-1. And this one, I mean, gosh, if you just had some yardage and just this, what you could really build out of that would just be so fun. Aren't they fun, you guys?
We've never done anything like this either, and I think this is going to be so cool.
I do too. I think that all of this is going to be just like, I can't stop thinking about all this right now. I can't do my regular work because all I want to do is think about this and all the projects that we can do and all the things that we can build with it. And so it's just this nonstop. Fat quarters in the pre-cut fat quarters. This particular one has 12. This collection has 12 in it. Meet Me in the Garden had 9, which both of those numbers include the solids. So we did a blue fat quarter pack and a pink fat quarter pack.
Valerie, the solid colors in the fat quarter packs are Quilting Cuddle solids. They are not Cuddle 3.
Yes, we have 25 solids in Quilting Cuddle so far. So the ones that you've already heard, and then if you want to read those off to them, then we're doing, so this, we did a lot of basics. There's already a couple colors that I've been told we're missing, and I agree. So,
so it's going to be Snow, Mandarin, Scarlet, Baby Pink, which is not showing up on camera, but it's Baby Pink, then Fuchsia, then Corsage, Berry, Bellflower, Really Purple, Navy, True Blue, Jean, Juniper, Forest, Loden, Coffee, Sand, Ash, Sterling, and Black.
And right now we're adding natural and a yellow. I haven't picked the yellow yet, but or we haven't done it. But the natural for sure, we're already adding that one. And then you're missing, of course, the few that are inside the collections only. So far, we haven't added it to the header because we don't have a sample quite yet. So in the solids, we will probably, I bet you that's half of what we'll have by the time our next big release comes along in the fall. That we're probably going to have more like 50 colors by that time. So I know this will be a fast and furious. Every collection that comes out will have solids that go with it. Mm-hmm. If there's nothing already in the line, that's where we'll create new colors to go with, to go into the line. So even when we get to 50, who knows how fast that will
I know.
Stay at just 50.
It's growing very quickly.
Yeah, that 25 grew like that.
I know.
All right. So the next collection is, I just love this one. I just can't stand how much I love this.
My favorite. If I ever have a little girl, all her clothing will be out of this.
It's just so sweet and so cute. So, other side of the table?
Yes,
probably. All right. The new collection is called Cottage Rose Lane. That is a new color in the background. That's meadow in the background. So it's kind of a pale sagey green color, not the dark sage. It's the pale sage. And meadow is its name. I just think this little collection just says everything I want it to say. Those are probably maybe an inch. An inch is about the size of those little flowers, the little roses. So cute, so cute. All right. You can use that one there, and then when we get to this
next up is one of the coordinating pieces, which is the little polka dot.
So we'll be seeing a lot of the dot because it's something that we will probably create its own little basics from, along with a gingham that's coming up. We're going to do a little bias gingham as well in it. This one, I just love this little print.
I know.
It's a little pale right at the moment. We'll probably pump it up just a little tiny bit when we get it, because these are all strike offs. So this is just what we get originally, and they show us, what they thought we were asking for. So that if that doesn't look like an old-fashioned calico, I don't know what does. Can you imagine how cute a set of bags out of this is going to be?
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for this to come in.
Here's this one. Show the pale pink one, the seashell. This is called seashell, is the new color. It's not pink, and it's not a pink color, and it's not a coral. it's somewhere right in the center of that, which is exactly what we were going for. And that's the size of the dot and the color of the dot. This next little one, oh gosh, I just love this little guy. Oh, isn't it so cute?
So cute. Every print in this collection is
Darling.
I know. The colors, everything.
It's just one of those things that just came together like it was supposed to. And so then this one, I'm going to come up and stay up there with that. This one is not the same size. So we reduced the size of this one just by a little bit, just to make them a little different. But it's the same flowers and things internally.
And they coordinate together really nice. This is looking a lot more pink.
Yes.
On camera, but they will coordinate beautifully.
It's brighter than seashell.
Yeah.
The background of this one is brighter than seashell, but it's still the same flavor completely. Super cute. And then this doggone thing.
Oh my
gosh, I
gosh.
love that thing.
How cute is this gingham print?
You know there's going to be more of those because they're just
I
so
know.
stinking cute that I want more. I want to look at more of those. And then this could be my favorite bag print completely for little cosmetic bags. Look at that thing. Isn't that going to be the
reminds
best?
me of like wallpaper, but I don't know. I love this one.
Can you imagine how cute a pair of little pajama bottoms
Oh
would be
my
on
gosh.
that? Oh,
Or mommy and me matching pajamas. set.
yeah. Oh, excuse me. Loungewear.
Oh yes.
Loungewear. Love it.
Cute.
And a really soft floral.
I love the little polka dot in the background.
We actually pumped the little polka dots up a little bit so they're easier to see. And we also brought the roses in just a little tiny bit. Just made it a little tighter. Cute. And then the 5-in-1, which I know I'm going to love that one as well. Doesn't always show up as great on camera, but aren't they fun? I mean, how many times can you say cute and fun in one little collection? But honestly, look at that. I can. We're gonna have a baby set out of this before you blink because I love this so much. The minute that there's yardage to start building things like that, we will have a nursery set out of this collection. So cute. So cute.
Love it.
This comes in 2 colorways. So the second, what we're going to show you secondly is the other colorway. We don't have that little bit. It's just the strike offs that we've received. So
Yes.
we don't have one thing made
out of
those.
that one.
Not one thing other than the pretend quilt. So we were going to do the header.
Oh yeah.
Show you all the coordinates together.
All right. So this is what all of them look like side by side next to each other. You see how they coordinate all really well.
For strike offs, it's amazing. So I know they're going to do a really hit it out of the park job with this. I know, little girl's room just done with the whole thing.
I know. Cute.
Yeah. Can you imagine little hoodies and things like that?
Oh my
This
gosh,
cute
I know.
little baby
I think
wear.
we're gonna have a lot of fun.
We are going to have. I can't, like I told you earlier, I can't stop thinking about this. So the last collection, we didn't have anything at market. We had paper to
Yes.
sell this last collection from. So we were selling it. I don't even know where that paper is right now, but we were selling it off of a piece of paper and people were still buying it. So I have a lot of faith
Yes.
that they're going to really, they're going to do well. So this is like a Americana, but not really. You don't have to make it Americana if you don't want to make it Americana. It really wasn't our first thought when we started doing this, that's kind of a combination that was a 40s look. They did a lot of red and blue together. It's going to be slightly more denim-y, but it's so minimal that you probably won't know. That's a new color called Blue Bonnet. Blue Bonnet. So it's the piece harder to sew versus cotton fabric. I don't think so. I think, Brenda, you're going to be shocked as to how easy it is to sew, to quilt with this, as it is, cotton is the most stable fabric out there to work with. So this will be a titch different than it, but it's not fussy like C3 or Lux is to piece. It's not fussy. It really goes together nicely. If there's any brand ambassadors on here or cuddle ambassadors on here and want to make a little comment about how easy it was to sew on, so they can understand, because a lot of you have put a lot of energy into it. So that's the bias gingham, which, oh God,
So cute.
isn't it cute?
Yes.
And this next gingham, I can't wait to make a little baby dress out of that. I think that I'm gonna do it with, I've got in my mind, I have to have some daisies with it. So I want to do the little dress with some kind of a cute little daisy business on the waistline or the neckline or something. I just think it's so cute. It's going to be so fun to machine embroidery with. I saw Sheila on here earlier. She is our machine embroidery specialist, and she's already, of course, been playing around with that and says it's super easy to work on for that. So this is going to be fun. Oh, that's cute too.
That is really pretty. I love that the colors look very, very accurate right now on camera.
Yeah, they do.
I just can't wait for you guys to feel this. I think everyone is going to be so surprised in a very, very good way.
So this, and then the dot, which I think the dots are just so cute. The coin dot, we've been referring to this, but the next one just melted me into a puddle. This next coin dot, the smaller one. I don't know what there is about that little print that I just love so much. It's another one that wants to be a little baby dress for me, with some piping, some blue piping in it or something. Just a tidy little dress that, oh.
Charity, that is definitely something that our design team is working on for the next release. So stay tuned.
Yeah, you know, the boy prints are always so much harder than the girl ones, but we definitely are working on them. Definitely working on them.
All these little dainty flowers.
Yes.
Love it.
We have 2 on paper still. Candy Apple is the red, so it's a little brighter red than Scarlet. It's going to match probably red closer, but it's not quite, so we're calling it Candy Apple. So that floral didn't make it in. So it's a little bit bigger. It's more like 1.5 inches at the larger floral, and that's a navy blue dot in the background. And then we've got the pink and the red in the roses. So you'll be surprised when you want to just work with that print alone, how well a pink will probably look pretty darn good with it. And then that's the red dot, the Candy Apple dot, that will be probably timeless.
Valerie, no, the Tropic is done on a 3mm 90-inch wide Cuddle 3. Cute.
The plaids, you'll see some plaids, you'll see all kinds of things. You know, when you're starting to do new things like this, the desire to do just endless amounts of things and you're only allowed so many SKUs. This is like 65 SKUs, I think, something in that nature with the solids too. And so it really adds up quickly and fast. So you can't do everything you want to do, but we're going to do some cheater quilts, I think, on the next round. And then we're going to add a little bit of boy collection in there too, something that will work, and maybe tuck a plaid or 2 into that boy collection. You know, they are just harder. You know, there's only a few colors. The palette of girls is basically everything. The palette of boys is like 25% less than what the other is. You just can't use some of those colors and make it, and that's the hot colors that tend to, you know, pop things a little bit. But we have some ideas, so we'll get you there. We'll get you there. So that's the entire new collection that we've done, and so that's 4 collections, if you will, and the colorways within them, and then the fat quarters and all of that. So are there questions? Do you have anything that you're worried about or you're thinking about or that you're wishing that we would do? Or if there's any thoughts that, I know you're talking a lot, so that always is a good sign that there's a lot of energy behind it. There's a lot of energy for us as well.
Yes, this is really, really exciting for us. You know, it's always a little bit, you know, scary when you're coming out with a brand new product like this. But I think the feedback that we got back at H&H, we were very, very pleased with and very appreciative for all of the positive comments on this. And we're just very excited for it to get here. I did see that earlier this week, the very first container of Quilting Cuddle shipped.
Wow.
So it is officially on the way, which is going to be this collection here.
Meet Me in the Garden?
Yes, Meet Me in the Garden is going to be the first one to arrive. And the other ones will definitely start coming in and should be in sometime in July.
And then Arvin thinks that probably he thinks that actually the Rose Garden is going to be, or Cottage Rose Lane. Goodness, Julie. That
It's a lot to learn.
It is a lot to learn very quickly, and sometimes your tongue gets in the way of your voice. And it should probably be here more like September. So, but I don't know if it'll take quite that long. But we're trying not to also put bumper cars on top of it so that the stores have a second to absorb everything, and to figure out how they're going to merchandise and get all these things inside. Some of the other things that I was thinking about how well it's going to put together is like little tiny baby toys.
Oh yeah.
I just think that anybody that's building baby toys already or using them for gifts and things, I think you're going to be surprised how easy it's going to be. I also think things like hair bows and things
yes.
Everybody that's doing all the hair stuff with baby things, that I think it's going to open up your baby gift giving ideas, just to like spread it out a little bit to give you more to work with, because it's so much more flexible to do some of these tiny things that in the past you probably thought, oh, it's going to be so bulky and look so weird.
Well, look at how small those bows are and how cute they came out.
Yeah, I bet they could even be smaller.
Yeah,
and still be cute. So I think, gosh, look how tiny it looks on the table, because it is that tiny.
Brenda, these are all imported from Korea. So luckily they will not be affected by that. Valerie, we would love to know what panels you would want to see and give us ideas.
I was even thinking maybe we should do like a little coordinated, or not coordinated, a little group of just a few kids prints, like tried and true kids prints, like one dino, one teddy bear, one something, and maybe like do 6 different prints so that they can use solids to go with it, or maybe some of the other
and then
prints
some of the plaids and
ginghams
ginghams will also coordinate with that stuff. Like if we did a navy gingham, like we know that it would go with multiples.
So that's one of the other thoughts that I've had, just to kind of help people get to where they want to be with this. They would probably be smaller prints so that they would quilt nicely. They wouldn't be of the large scale like a blanket size. It would be more small so that we can get them into squares and half triangles and things like that. All right. So I think we probably have showed you enough of this.
You know what? Someone was asking for the if we can show the embroidered something that was under the plant, and I wasn't sure which one they were referring to. So maybe we can show a couple more items.
Well, these two that has a lot of work on it, so that's a good one. This one, we didn't talk about the embroidery on the front of that, I don't think, enough.
Okay, so this bag here, look at all that work in it. Wow. I love the little rose even stitch work to coordinate with the print. So this one is, the pattern is from Noodlehead Crescent Bag, and they added their own embroidered flower to it. Cute.
I think this also shows embroidery really well, that how nicely it is. It's not puckered. It's not having any problems at all. Did we show you the right thing? Whoever was asking earlier?
Whoever was asking earlier, I know this was like almost when we started talking about Quilting Cuddle, so feel free to ask.
I don't see anything else that I feel like we
look at this.
It's like a little backpack.
Yeah. The strap here.
We have a few other things that we do want to show you today. Do we still have time? Does everybody feel like well, 11:30. I think we've got a little bit more time. We have a few things that we are.
Does anyone want to see new Lux Cuddles that are on the way already and arriving in a couple of weeks?
Valerie, 1/4 inch seam allowances work great in it. Everybody's been doing 1/4 inch seam allowances. We've been using sergers with it. We're doing, I pressed on the back side of it. It's so easy. It's all been so easy so far, almost too easy. I'm surprised as to how quickly all these projects go together and how much fun we've had doing it. That looks darling on camera.
This is from AccuQuilt Baby Bib Die Cut.
And our little coordinated shoesies will go with that, by the way. Little dress and shoes. Look at the back and the front of the baby. Oh gosh, the baby business, I'm telling you.
Lovey.
So yes, should we do the
So this was the lovey.
just the quick little lovey.
Cute.
Yeah, Sheila did a really great job with that bag. That bag that has all that detail in it.
All right. Well, they're asking for Peekaboo, so I do think that
Okay.
let's show them some of this new Lux Cuddle.
Okay, so you're familiar with these two, probably.
Yes. So Bailey Bunny was something that came out that was shipped in March, and the two original colors they came in was the chocolate almond and night.
One of my personal favorites,
Yes.
honestly. So it is bunny, and it is part of the shared collection. So they've shared that. That's why you can see that design so easily. These are beautiful. The hand is just delicious. You can just, this is one of those times that I really wish you had the ability to feel this.
And they are two-toned. So they are tipped one color and then the base is another.
So this is a gray base and kind of a whitish, off-whitish top.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then it just depends on what happens.
So we have added new colors. These will be available probably sometime late July, early August. These are not on the way just yet. But this first one up is Vintage Rose. And I'll show you guys a little bit more of an up-close look at this. So this one has a, the base color is Vintage Rose. So it is a newer color in our Lux Cuddle line. And then the base tipping on this is like a natural.
Yeah, but pink cast to it.
Yeah, because of the base color. But
so that's so pretty. Vintage Rose is the perfect name for that piece. Perfect. You know, you remember every time we talk about all these two tones that are discharged like this, that they put color in and take color out, that it's always a little bit of a guessing game as to what's going to come. And so this one's called Water Lily. And it doesn't match anything in particular at this point. We were working with like juniper, but it looks nice with juniper, but we just didn't feel like it's fair to call it juniper. So we gave it this fun name called Water Lily. It's just such a pretty piece. It has kind of that natural tone to it on the top, or almost an ice. It wants to go towards ice a little bit.
Yes. So the base color again is going to be Water Lily on this. It's like in the juniper family, just not quite juniper yet.
But you know, every time we get them in, they change just a little bit because that's what happens with discharge. It's what makes them beautiful. It also makes them challenging. Boy, this one is.
This is like the number one pre-ordered one right now, which is French Rose. You guys, French Rose comes in our Arctic Fox collection. And it will now be available on Bailey Bunny as well.
Crunch it up a little bit so that you can see. Look what happens to it.
Wow.
It goes crazy when you crunch it up. Carla. So Vintage Rose is cherry cola, but it didn't turn out to be cherry cola. So it turned out to be that lighter version. We're going to work on them and see if we can manage to get a cherry cola.
Yeah, we're not going to give up just yet, but they did try that one multiple times and it just was not coming in. We liked that one. We think it's very pretty, but we won't give up on doing a cherry cola version.
That's what happens with happy accidents.
Yes.
All right.
Just these discharge prints are just a little bit harder.
They're just a challenge, but that's what makes them beautiful. How about some Peekaboo?
Peekaboo. Oh my gosh. This is one that at the show, everybody was like, oh my gosh, they're surprised.
This is one of my personal favorites.
Angela, we are not doing any pre-mades on these just yet. So it's a little bit hard to see.
You can kind of see when you scrunch though.
Yeah.
Peekaboo is kind of, it's again, it probably is going to coordinate back to our new Cottage Lane. That I think that this has like a little bit of a pink, a little bit of a peachy tone kind of blended together. And it's just made this beautiful color we're calling Peekaboo. There's a couple new pinks coming out, and this is one of them, but it's super soft. It's very light. It's just Oh God, it's delicious in person, ladies.
Oh,
Just
they
delicious.
feel. If you do not have a bunny blanket,
You're missing
get
out.
Bailey
Yeah.
Bunny first.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You're missing out if you don't have a. So you know what? Those are all the new Baileys.
Yes.
And so we'll work on another round, probably one more round of them pretty soon because we want to try some of the other colors that
Yeah.
are in our mind.
But
we
aside from Cherry Cola, if anyone else has any other suggestions of what they would want to see, we'd love to know.
We're always all ears on that.
Yes.
You know, the color combinations, sometimes we feel like we get in a rut, but then we'll whip out something new and have a good time with it. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is Powder Puff. What do you remember about Powder Puff? We've released some colors already. They've been in the line for a minute, but then people were saying, how come the colors are all pastels or kind of light in color? Can we have some darker colors? So Powder Puff is also sheared, so that kind of up and down that it has is in the shearing, so it's not embossed. And people get kind of confused by this, the shearing versus the embossed. Embossed is a depressed piece, and the shearing is actually removed fiber. And so this one, I can't remember what color this is called.
So this one is
the new color.
Midnight.
No, that's not a new color. Just fooling.
We just don't carry a lot of Midnight in Lux Cuddle. You really see it a lot more in like Cuddle 3, the Dimple, and all of those.
So it's kind of a royal blue, between royal blue and navy. It's like halfway in between.
So these Powder Puff colors, the new ones, are on the way already, and they're actually arriving in about 3 weeks. So these are almost here, but we did make a slight change to Powder Puff that you guys are going to start noticing, that we are changing the pile length on this from 15 millimeters to 20. So they're going to feel even more luxurious than they already do. And you know what I have to say that a lot of customers tell me when they see this, like in our photography, is that they feel like it looks like a Milan without being a Milan.
I've heard that too. I have actually heard that. That's Nightfall. Which there's no stretch. I mean, it's normal. It's just a normal look. So this is Nightfall. Now, this is kind of like dark sea kind of. It's a very like teal family, but it's very dark, and it's meant to be this like mysterious night color that is so pretty.
Think of a navy where we put in almost like a
eyedroppers of green.
Yes.
Is what it's where that's coming to. So it's getting that kind of teal feeling towards it. I'm going to move closer to the screen so that you can see. It's a beautiful color. It's brand new. It's a brand new color. Nightfall. That's what we're going to call this. And so it's like not navy. When you put navy with it, it's crazy not navy. And then when you put like a deep sea with it, it doesn't look like that either. So then something, yes, that people were just asking like crazy, why isn't there a better gray or gray? And so we did alloy.
Oh, you can really see
the
puffs on this one.
This is so pretty. Oh, sorry. The gray is a great, alloy is one of my favorite shades of gray. It's it's kind of that not blue and it's not green. It's just like the right shade of gray. So if you're when you're picking things and you're looking for just the perfect shade of gray, lean towards an alloy. This is crimson. This is not a new color, but we haven't had much crimson. It's really a pretty color. It's got a little bit of blue in its undertone to it, but it's darker. It's a darker color, but it's also a very typical school color.
Yes.
And so that was one of the reasons why we chose to add that one right now, is that people are asking for some crimson-y colors for school color things. So I just really like it. It's actually a tiny bit darker, isn't it, than what it's showing on screen?
Yeah.
It's a tiny bit darker.
But look at how much more you can see the puffs now that the pile length has changed.
Shauna, I wish Adobe sold a little bit better. It just doesn't do as well as it could. Okay, this is a tough one. First of all, there's only a scrap of fabric here.
I know.
And hopefully it shows you what it's supposed to be on camera. This one is called Raisin.
Rum Raisin is what you'll see it on the website. This was just added to the website today, guys. So if you have an account with us, you're able to now get your pre-orders in for it.
So rum raisin is going to be like a color that is not brown and it's not purple, but it is a brown that the eyedroppers are purple going into it to give it that raisiny tone to it. I think it's a really pretty color.
Really pretty.
The paint colors in this year are all over the place with this rum raisin look. So we will see this in our homes coming up. In when you pay attention and play with the paint colors, that's usually the colors that are just entering in. And so we'll see a lot of this in this coming fall and winter, I think. Rum raisin. This is a yummy color too. I forgot what its name is. Do you remember? Oh, it's spruce. Gosh, I was thinking it was some fancy color, but it's spruce. So we love our spruce. I think the name represents the product very well.
Oh, I think so too.
It's a Christmas tree green to me that you see in the Christmas lines when you're doing your Christmas things. You could do that. Then there's emerald, which is a different flavor completely than this. But I love this shade. Pretty. And then yes, Brenda, I think you're the one that said it. Is this Think Pink? Yes, you saw Think Pink. Because every single collection right now needs a Think Pink in it because everybody seems to think that Think Pink is the color. But, as I'm watching things like, the morning shows or something like that, people are wearing this color now too. So this color is just all over the place still. It's really pretty. It's a little brighter than what it's showing. She's trying to work with us here, trying to get it, but it's one of those hot colors that the camera never loves these hot colors when you're first trying to show it.
Yes,
What are we looking for?
They just want to see them kind of stacked behind you. I think when they have them all. So this one here, that's rum raisin right there.
There's one more. This one's purple velvet, which is such a regal color. We were looking for a new color of purple, but people are asking for purple, but the regular purples felt were a little bright for this, but this one is just such a beautiful color. It's not quite eggplant. It's different than the eggplant color. It's got a little more purple in it, and the eggplant has a little more blue. I think this is such a pretty color. I think you're doing a very good job getting that. The darker parts of it is what it really looks like. I know. Think Pink, right, Susan? Can you stand there?
Okay, can you guys see these okay? So again, this is the new colors of Powder Puff. All of Powder Puff will be changing. So as we sell through the current inventory for the existing ones, for both the solid and the sorbet Powder Puff, they will be changing from 15 millimeters to 20. And these will be the new colors. And so we've got Think Pink here. This was
Midnight,
Nightfall, Alloy, Crimson, Rum Raisin, new color, Spruce, and Royal Purple Velvet. That's another new color.
So we've got some new colors popping in here and there. So we've been trying to work on some new colors to surprise and delight you for the new products that are coming in. And this is the first group that has any of the new colors in it. Yeah. Gosh, that thing is so pretty.
I know.
Pink. It's really thinking pink.
And again, these will be here within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. We have another small collection of something you've seen before, but we're bringing it back as per requested.
Yeah. So we're going to do some limited edition colors.
Oh, we have a missing baby shoe. What do we do with it? Somewhere in there. Oh, no, she fell on the floor. That's good. When they get caught up in the fabric, sometimes we don't see them for a long time to come. Do you remember the fabric called Mesa? It came out maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe a little longer.
Maybe a little longer. And it was one of those things that it kind of got caught up, I think, inside a huge release that came out at the time. And so our customers, the stores and the manufacturers actually asked for it to come back. And so Mesa, it's a 20 millimeter pile of seal. It's beautiful. And this color, I can't remember what it's called. Is it camel?
This one is sand.
Sand. Okay.
Again, this is another color it's going to be a very, very much so home deck. It's very popular in the home deck look right now.
So
This
why?
is Mesa Sand. And for now, these are limited edition colors. But we're thinking we'll do another batch of limited edition once these are sold out. But we will see how they do. But this feels
Amazing.
wow.
Yeah. They feel incredible. So this is a Think Pink look. It's a little lighter than Think Pink because they can't, at the discharge, they can't keep that intensity of a regular solid Think Pink. But boy, it's really pretty.
Pamela, that is something that we are working on with both Tuscany and Florence. We're not quite there yet, but stay tuned and hopefully we're able to work something out.
Yeah, it probably won't be the exact same as it was before. It's going to have to be on from a different mill. That it's just not sustainable to do like it was. The cost of it is just going to have to go too high, which we knew that. That's why it was always a limited edition. Wow, that is pretty.
So this is chocolate, but this is rich looking.
Yeah, it almost has a mahogany feel to me.
Yes.
But we're leaving it with the name of chocolate, but I don't know that chocolate thing is going to match with it.
Yeah, I don't think chocolate is going to coordinate with it. So just keep that in mind. But you guys, this one is really, really, really pretty. Let me see what the color looks like.
I'm going to throw this rum raisin up there with it. So see,
That's
the rum,
not bad.
it's not bad. Actually, it looks better in person than it does there.
On camera, yeah.
But it's like a dark, dark, dark rum raisin-y feel.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. But this piece is beautiful. It's beautiful. The camera is doing cuckoo things with it a little bit, but it's really pretty. It's probably my favorite one. Although this one, I really adore this one too, I have to tell you. This one is Cocoa. Cocoa. It's a really pretty piece. The solid in it is kind of natural colored in it. In this case, the solid.
It's showing up a lot darker on camera than it is in person. In person, it's a lot softer. But it's another really good home deck color.
You know, I honestly would want this back to back, I think.
I think so too.
I don't think I would mix other fabrics with it because they're probably going to be not as easy to match. But I think also the puff factor is something you really want on both sides. And it'll make an extremely exquisite blanket.
So this one is 20 millimeter. I know we call it Seal Mesa, and our normal seal is done on a 15. But this one is done on a 20.
Gosh, you just
know.
My
goodness.
You just know that
it adds that extra something to it.
It's crazy how beautiful it is.
Yes.
Crazy.
And how good it feels.
Oh, one more. Almost forgot this one. And this is a new color that's really pretty. Hopefully it shows up beautiful on camera.
This is a new color that is one of those that I know we're going to be adding in more things.
Stardust. That's what we're calling it. Okay, so this is gray with a little bit of beigey tones added in there. So if you put a gray with it, it's not going to look gray. But if you put a beige with it, it's not going to look beige.
And it's a very, very light gray.
So you can kind of see the difference between alloy laying there with it and how like platinum-y it almost is. If we hadn't used our platinum name already, I would have called this platinum. But I think Stardust is also a really pretty name for it as well. It's really beautiful. It's pretty white. In the lightest part is pretty white rather than naturally, but it's not pure white either.
Yeah. So these new limited edition Seal Mesas are on the way as well. So we should have these also within the next 3-4 weeks.
That'd be so pretty on a black sofa.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be so pretty. Oh, y'all. Those are nice. These are nice.
And they feel great.
I want one. I want one. All right. The next thing is a tried and true favorite.
Yes. So last but not least, we have added new colors.
Added new colors in Galaxy.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. But customers have been asking for it, and we've just been not doing it. So that's basil. So we added basil because, you know, basil still is a bestseller in greens.
And I think someone said earlier that we didn't have enough greens in something. And so this is not showing up.
No, it's a little washed out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
But It matches basil
Going the wrong
really,
way.
really well.
Going the wrong way. I get warmer, 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 warmer. Wonder why it's not grabbing it right. It is not that at all.
But these are being photographed and will be added to the website hopefully within the next week or so. All of these, the only one I believe that is up there as of this morning is the powder puff.
Huh. I wonder what's going on. The camera is absolutely refusing. Now it's making it black and white.
I'll lay it out
Okay,
here.
It's better when it's laid down. Actually, it's better over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's about probably still 50% more color.
All right, this next one, ooh, it's called Pine Cone.
So it's a little off, but not as bad. Why is that funny? There's barely a little color in here. It's grabbing some like orangey look going on. It's not orangey. There's a little tiny bit of orange right there, but it's just nothing. So it's getting better. It's a very warm, warm, warm brown, especially this color down in here. Ooh, that's really pretty. But
maybe if I lay it on the table. Yeah, it's a little more accurate.
Yeah, it's a little more. Okay, let's see what happens to
this. All right.
So this is Think Pink. Okay, it's bluer on screen right now than it looks. It's definitely more of that Think Pink look. That's getting better. It's really pretty. It's a good version of Think Pink.
Audrey, these galaxies are tie-dyes, so occasionally you will get some of those little sort of orangey spots in them, goldy tones in them, and it's just because they are true tie-dyes. But on camera, that showed up a lot brighter than it really was, but you can see those tones occasionally, depending on where the fabric is cut in any of the tie-dye fabrics.
Okay, so this one is beautiful. It's a little, okay, crazy. This is Black Cherry. So it's not as black cherry as we wish it to be. So we are redoing it. So we're redipping it, but it is beautiful already. And we're just going to redip it just a little bit to see. Look at that in there. That is so pretty in that top piece.
And again, I don't know how close we will get to Black Cherry like in Willow.
Yeah.
Just because, again, these are tie-dye prints. But we are going to keep trying and see if we can get closer.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a really pretty piece. The next two are probably my two favorites in this. Oh, no, three. There's three. I have this one to go first. This is the Brindle. So this has got, this is brown with a lot of gray, not that much gray, with gray in it. And so it's, gosh, how do you describe that color down there? It's almost like an espresso in the darkest parts of it. And then when you start coming out, it gets into that brown with some eyedroppers of gray in it.
Yes.
It's a little grayer looking on screen right now. In fact, it's going the wrong way. I don't know why these are sucking the camera so crazy. So, but when we lay them down, they do get better. They get closer.
They just look a little hot right now. But this is the closest. The basil looks really, really good.
So this one is called Bering Sea. And I really feel like it says everything it's supposed to say. With that, it's like raindrop that has a little more gray in it because it was supposed to be raindrop to begin with, but we're going to stick with this because it's so beautiful. And I think they'll just keep struggling with the same things. It's not as warm as raindrop is. It's a little grayer than that, but it's got this iciness to it. It's just beautiful. It's going to be, it's definitely one of my favorites. I want to see this with like a pearl other side to it.
It's going to be real. When you guys see this in person,
you're going to go crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really nice. Really nice. And by far the number one at the trade show was the new Highland. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, it's getting there. Yeah. So it is a Highland cow. The color is a Highland cow. There is no doubt about it. It's perfect Highland.
It's going to go really, really well for all of your, projects with all of our Highland cow prints. And then imagine making a stuffy that coordinates with it or some pillows. This is going to go perfect with that.
I love it. I think this is a really great one. And then there's a couple other, this is all the new Luxes. So
Yes.
I think that was everything.
So these are Galaxy. These are not on the way just yet, but we've got basil. This first one was basil. Next up was pine cone. Then we've got Think Pink here. Then we've got black cherry. Then it's brindle, Bering Sea, and then Highland. And these will be available probably end of June.
Yep. They're all beautiful colors.
Yeah.
So don't let the crazy camera situation detour you. Like this one looks like it's like a fire pit right now, and it's not at all. It's really a perfect Highland cow.
Yes, but we'll get some good edited shots on the website soon so that you can see these a little bit better. But yeah, these are just some of the new Lux Cuddles that we've been working on. So, and I feel like we haven't done a Lux show in so long that we've been so excited to show you guys.
Boy.
Yes.
And part of the problem was all the tariff stuff that, some of the stuff we've been working on, and it's still sitting and resting and waiting for tariff things to settle down, so that, we did put a lot of energy into some new products, and then we had to put them on hold. And that's always a very frustrating thing. So we're always excited about them. And there's some new Dreamy that are coming out that are just really cool.
There's a lot of other fun stuff, and we can't wait to show you guys. We just want to know that it's something that we're going to be able to bring you guys in a timely manner.
We could talk about it and say it's a December delivery.
Yeah, we don't want to tease you that way. Yeah.
So we're just holding off on some of those things. So that's where our silence was having to then stop and then redo and work on some new things. And so we still have other new things that we're working on that should be able to start filtering in pretty soon too.
But if you guys have any suggestions for just other stuff, other prints, other Lux Cuddles, other colors that you're wishing for us to add to the line, please never hesitate to either send us a message on any of our social media pages or sending us an email. We love to hear that sort of stuff.
Florence and Tuscany. So that was a limited edition. It just was a very long limited edition because there was a lot of grayish. And so it's not something that can be reproduced at the same price. So the price has to go up tremendously. And so we determined that we have to reinvent it. And so we're going to reinvent it with probably a different mill. And so that we'll have the same design on a similar quality. And so, but we're working on it. We're not there yet. And we hear loud and clear. And lately I've just been bombarded with people wanting Florence lately. It was Tuscany at the beginning. And now it's Florence that people are just really, really wanting. We love it too. We love what it feels like. We like both of the textures that it is. And so,
for the longest, we were wanting to do them, like in heathered versions and frosted versions. And so I think once we get this down in a different mill, we'll be able to just add some other things into it and refresh some of the colors that we offered. And so we love it. So we will definitely do our best to bring those back.
Absolutely. We haven't given up. And we're not even close to giving up, actually. So, it's just becoming evident to the world that it's almost out. Or is out.
Yes.
It is out. Yeah.
It is out. We have no more left. So
we'll get there. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
There's one other thing that I really want to mention before we get off today, and that is that we're coming out with 110-inch wide C3. So, we have all the crazy colors of 90 currently, but we're going to come out with 110. But in pre-cuts only. So we're going to do 3 yards. So it'll be 108 by 110-inch piece. It's only been maybe 10 years of working on this.
But wow, 110 people at the show were like, wait, what did you just say? And I'm like, yeah.
So every single customer I worked with at Market bought them. There are going to be 8 colors. The top best-selling colors of C390 will be coming out. I think, you guys, this is going to be one of those sleepy things for a second, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a wildfire, and we're going to have just tons of colors. But we have to get started slow. So we're starting with 8 colors. I have begged the mill for at least 10 years to do these 110s. And when they finally said yes, I about fell out of my chair. So I'm super excited about it. 108 by 110 is going to do king size sheets as well. And if you don't have a cuddle sheet, you need a cuddle sheet. Don't say it's too hot, because it's not. I am a hot sleeper myself, and I love my cuddle sheets.
You guys, that's a free pattern on our website.
Yep. So it will do that. It also, of course, it's going to be great for the long arming on the back, so no piecing at all. There's just so many factors about it that it's just going to be a step up. Plus, it's going to be easy for everybody to handle because it's not these giant bolts. It's going to be, because they would have had to be really big bolts. And you're worried about, just all the stuff that is a problem on 90. It only accelerates with a 110. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
That's one I'm really looking forward to. And so, yes, sheets are, the backs of the big quilts was the number 1 reason. The number 2 reason is sheets. But if you don't have one, you should get one. They're amazing.
Look, Shauna says, I only use Minky sheets.
I know. That's what I'm saying. All year long. I use mine all year long too, Jackie. And my husband doesn't have a problem with it at all. In fact, if I didn't get it washed in time to get it back on the bed, he's like, oh, that, like there's some, like the cotton sheet is a lesser than version now. So crazy where we've come. That I think that today, I love the release today. I was looking so forward to sharing all this with you, and I'm so happy you all are here, and just, put it in your groups, share it around about Quilting Cuddle. That I think it's just going to be the next thing that really gives us a shot in the arm of energy for all of us. It's just, like I said, I can't stop thinking about it. I just can't stop thinking of the projects and the things to do with it.
And we have, just a lot of, marketing materials that we're working on for Quilting Cuddle. So any questions at all that come up, we've got a ton of team that will, reply back to your comments on these posts with any questions that you have about Quilting Cuddle. We can't wait for you guys to feel it and play with it and see what your guys' projects will be. And we're really excited for it to get here. Yeah.
So thanks for joining today. We always appreciate your time and you joining us with all your fun comments today. Today it seems like there was just a flood of comments, and I just love that.
And as you can imagine, we did have to change the show because we were at H&H when it was originally supposed to be. But I'm glad that we waited, because it just made it that much more exciting, because we were able to bring everything back from the show to be able to show you guys all of the finished goods.
And thanks for rolling with us. Overlap each other. Who knows? But we appreciate it when you roll with us and just go to the next time. And there's a lot of sew togethers happening now too. We're doing that on opposite Tuesdays of when we're doing this, and so we're going to be adding to that as well. So
all right, let's go ahead and announce the winners for today. So it's Carla Lyon, May J. Monica, and Helen Powers. Congratulations, everyone.
Some regulars today.
Yes.
Yay.
So please email us at info@shannonfabrics.com and make sure to provide us with your phone number, your shipping information, and
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Congratulations to all of the winners today, and thank you for everyone that tuned in, that participated, and for all of your guys' lovely feedback.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.